Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Andrew speaking. Hey, good to see you folks again and able to share some of the very important insight with all of you. And I think today will be a very, very important webinar. Let me show you why. Because a lot of people have been asking me, oh, if I'm diabetic, what's the thing to be watched for? And I realize a lot of people don't understand in depth what they need to really check. So net result, they will be kind of, well, I know I have diabetes. I know there might be possible affect my feet. Somehow they all thinking mainly just the maybe I gotta make sure that no one can cut on my feet when later on I get infected and so forth, but not necessarily understand the entire story of what diabetic can be damaging you throughout your entire body. I think that's where I think that would be good that we can somehow today discuss the entire story so you have a total understanding why it's so important to understand what is diabetic and what will hurt you outside and inside of the entire body, and how you can take a strategy to basically prevent all these potential health issues that you might face if you don't take it yourself. And you know what? It's interesting, after our discussion, you realize all that you can prevent. So isn't that wonderful? I think that's where today's webinar is going to be so important. Allow us to kind of close examine what is diabetic will do for you internally and externally. And that's why I thought today would be good. Anyway, we have a lot of people. I hope that can Edwina help me to give me a one. You can hear me in the Zoom meeting. Then I will know that you guys are able to hear me。各位朋友 ，Hello， 我係 Andrew Lau 啊，盧樹啲 President， 你好。嗱，今日嘅節目咧係好重要嘅。點解咧？因為今日嘅節目咧係 definitely 幫助你更加了解咩叫糖尿病咧。好多人咧，因為佢好多我有好多 customer 即係朋友啦，咁佢就翻嚟啦。哇，糖尿病係咪最重要注重咧？就唔會俾人哋即係割咗我隻腳去啊嗰啲，即係個問題咧。佢哋冇一個整體嘅 understanding 係點 affect 你成個 body 嘅。咁好多時咧，佢哋只係 focus 好少幾樣嘢咧，就 for example 隻腳整親，俾人要即係唔好咁啊，斬咗腳好慘。咁或者咧係只係諗到，哇會唔會係幫助我哋即係搞到我會洗腎啊？係注意唔係好多嘅東西，好似 for example 啦 ，amnesia 啦，即係唔記得嘢啦。亦都唔會覺得哇係咪有個叫做第三型嘅糖尿病，即係嘅 Alzheimer disease 啊，嗰啲全部係冇一個即係注意喺嗰度，或者心臟病，哇呢個仲緊要，因為個心停咗就死人噶咯喎。咁呢啲咧全部係未有真正去俾到佢哋去了解。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，我就覺得哇，如果係咁樣話，係咪我哋應該更加係努力啲去多啲了解我哋乜嘢叫糖尿病，點樣影響你全身嘅問題咧？咁我覺得如果做到呢樣嘢咧，我今日係達到我哋真係好嘅目標啦。OK， 咁我而家開始我哋 webinar 啦喎。So I'm going to start our webinar today, and then we'll go from there. Okay, good. So today our topic is what diabetic is really affect inside and out. And it is truly a deadly complication. And I think this is something that I really want to stress. It can be very deadly. And a lot of people don't realize that. And now when they realize that, they say, wow, you mean you can help me to, it will hurt me all these things? So today we'll really dive deeply into each of the area to let you understand why diabetes becomes so important. So I'm going to start doing our webinar now. Actually, today I saw a lot of people from all over the world. So I hope that, from Hong Kong, I think there's some in the United States, which people I don't recognize. And later I will talk about, give me 5 minutes to really catch up with everybody what is really truly diabetes and why it's so important to understand. So I will go through that little while. But today we're going to talk about, okay, we want to actually let you know what is all the hidden complication of diabetes, which you really have to understand, because if you understand, then you know what, you will prevent all the issues that you might face. And if you can prevent that, hey man, you can be healthy. So really important. I want to make sure that you have after this webinar, you understand what really diabetes affected your entire body, and discover all the links between the diabetes and all the life-threatening condition, which is truly has a lot of life-threatening condition. And on top of that, how do you manage all these deadly complications, and how Lu Xu can help you? So today, that's a mouthful of agenda, which I think is really good. If you can able to listen, understand that, then you can able to really better prepare yourself and how to do the prevention. 各位朋友，今日咧好特別咧，呢個今日講嘅節目咧係關於第一，好多糖尿嘅併發症咧係你其實隱藏咗，你唔知喺邊度嘅。咁好多人都未必有個 understanding 啦。如果唔 understand， 咁你又唔到防禦啦。咁今日咧，其實我係去打夾咗成套嘢出嚟俾你聽。嗱，原來你呢個糖尿病咧真係有好多呢咁嘅不同嘅併發症。咁如果你有可能夠有機會有個策略性去能夠幫助你去防禦咧，咁變咗咧你嘅身體一定更健康，唔會去到呢個情況下咯。咁同埋仲有去糖就點幫你咧？咁所以今日咧係一個十分好嘅webinar嚟嘅。嗱，今日因為好多人咧係我未見過啦，咁我諗我今日再嘥些少時間咧係解釋咩叫糖尿病先。So I saw many of us, here from United States, Canada, and Australia and South Asian country, which I'm not familiar with the name, so I figure maybe I should just go through real quick a few minutes to tell you what is really diabetes. Now, diabetes is very, very simple. The first thing, your LDL usually go up first. And when it goes up, they will damage the insulin, come out with the B cell. B cells will take sugar to the cells, right? So more B cell damage, you can get insulin resistance. So not much sugar go back to the cells. So net result, sugar and LDL cholesterol mix together, the blood becomes thick and form plaques everywhere. Now, this is really, at the end of the day, when you form plaque everywhere, it's whole body. So you very quickly move to stage 2. Diabetes is the major issue right here because it starts forming plaque from the entire body. Like, for example, your brain, your heart, everywhere. And your blood pressure starts going up because what happened, all these plaque is going to get less space. So net result, you will continue to have this plaque being formed, your blood pressure start going up. So that's stage 2. And very fast, you will move to stage 3, which is your pre-diabetic stage, because your blood sugar goes up. Or doctor would measure you in this particular measurement is called HbA1c. Now, HbA1c basically measures the amount of sugar in percentage attached to the hemoglobin. And when you attach the hemoglobin, if you have 5.7 below, you're a normal person. If you have 5.7 above to 6.4, you are pre-diabetic. It's a very narrow range, but on the other hand, this stage, you have no medication, excuse me. And basically, the doctor say, hey, you're pre-diabetic. You got to start watching yourself. However, you really, in order to do this, you have to change a lifestyle. And also, you have to drink Lu Xu tea to help you, because during the lifestyle change, you have to stick to a better diet, low cal, low fat, and we'll talk a little bit about that. You have to exercise your weight. All that has to together to change your lifestyle, to form the habit, so you will not, throughout the rest of your life, you have to continue to do that. If not, you don't do anything, 2 to 3 years or 4 years, you will convert to a diabetes once your A1C over 6.4. Now, once you get over 6.4, you ever become diabetes, your insurance go up higher, everything go up higher. And that is the part that why I'm doing all these lectures to help you guys out, to make sure you first do not want to convert to the pre-diabetic stage. If you're in the pre-diabetic stage, you don't want to convert to diabetes stage. And that is all my missions. Now, how really heard about Lu Xu, how it works? Lu Xu has just 2 items in there. There's the guava leaves, which block the sugar entering the blood vessels, so less sugar in the vessels. And then the bitter melon, which increase insulin sensitivity and taking sugar into the cells, plus excess sugar, it dumps the sugars and cholesterol and salt out from urine. And that result, your blood pressure will come down, plus detox. So very simple product, that's how it works. And we do not just only really do give you just to drink tea, but we'll give you all the program, including how to do better dieting, low carb, low fat diet, how to do exercise, how to weight control, break your BMI from 30 or to 23. And we have weekly webinar. All these are free. Weekly webinar, all these are free. Let you listen to understand. And then basically also teach you how to track the blood sugar. So you have totally 5 program, free of charge. You get continue to work with us. We hold your hand throughout your pre-diabetic, diabetic journey. Even though your A1Cs could be high as 10 plus or whatever, we can help them bring it down to 5 or 7. I see in my own eye, many people actually get down to below 6 and all the way to approach 5.7. So this is something you can do. As many of you willing to take the action to do it. Once you do that, they felt healthy, they felt better. Wow, better life. And that's why I'm committed to help you and work together with you on your whole pre-diabetic, diabetic journey. 嗱，各位朋友，今日咧好多人我未見過啦，咁所以今日咧 spend 5分鐘時間咧講講咩嘢叫糖尿病。嗱，糖尿病好簡單嘅，第一你個 LDL 膽固醇上升啦，咁你咧就 affect 咗啲嘅 B cell 喺胰島出嚟 B cell， 嗰啲 B cell 係帶糖入去個細胞裏邊嘅，你冇呢樣嘢糖繼續上升，弊啦 ，B cells 唔係個糖加LDL 嘅膽固醇加埋晒啲血便咁好結。好結咧就最好快脆，你 move 到呢個 stage 2咧，你就全身係咁塞。嗱，糖尿病就係最大問題咧，就全身係咁塞。當你塞咗之後咧，弊家伙啦，因為 after that 咧，你啲血壓就會上升，同埋咧一路係咁塞咧，就塞咗之後就唔翻轉頭噶咯喎。咁你好快脆咧 move 到 stage 3就你嘅前期患病。嗱，好可惜前期患病係冇藥食嘅，只係要你自己控制。轉到你生活習慣，你先能得嘅。咁咩叫前期患病啊？所有醫生都度呢樣嘢嘅，就係、是、你嘅 A1C、HbA1c。HbA1c 咧就有幾多 percent 嘅糖黐住個 hemoglobin。如果你係5.7嘅話，咁你係正常人啦。如果5.7、6.4咧，你係咩啊？哦，你係前期患病者。你前期患病者咧，你只能夠控制你嘅生活習慣、食嘅嘢、exercise、磅重降低、飲去糖茶，你先可以做到嘢。因為冇藥食噶嘛嗰陣時。咁如果你唔做嘢咧，好快脆咧，你就 move to stage 4就係糖尿病啦。咁如果糖尿病咧一路上去咧，你唔 take care 咧，好弊家伙，因為好多併發症嘅。咁點解要飲虛糖茶？虛糖茶只有兩樣嘢，第一就係你嘅有個番石榴葉啦，佢就幫啲糖咧係帶翻prevent 啲糖入去血管裏邊。作為苦瓜咧就 block 唔係 block 糖，佢 increase 嗰啲糖咧去個俾increase 個胰島素嘅敏感度，嗰度帶翻啲糖入翻去細胞裏邊，仲有 excess 嘅糖多啲糖咧喺個尿啊掉出嚟，膽固醇掉出嚟，同埋就鹽掉出嚟，鹽掉出嚟咧，你血壓就會降低，同埋咧仲有幫你排毒。咁其實去糖茶就好簡單嘅，係一個即係每日飲茶就得㗎啦，咁就幫你降低。咁我哋仲有咧唔係淨係飲茶咁簡單喎，我就有5個 program。第一教你食啦，教你咩叫 low fat diet 啦，咩叫低脂肪 diet 啦，仲有每日行8至1萬步啦，同埋咧你幫你點能夠用你 BMI 降低23至由30至23啦，同埋有每個禮拜醫生講座啊，同埋仲有每日點量度嘅監控你血糖啦，呢啲嘢全部呢5個 program 係免費俾你嘅。咁其實咧我係希望咧就只係同你一齊行呢條路。你嘅前期患病、糖尿病，千祈唔好，就算你未有糖尿病或者前期患病，我都希望教識你咧，你方咗你嘅生活習慣咧，能夠令到你唔會跌落去前期或者糖尿病。Okay, so we catch up. So now we have to ask, what is the really hidden threat for you? In the sense that I'm a pre-diabetic or diabetic, what is the threat? Okay. Now, that's something that you learn a lot today, and I hope that this can provide you an overall plan so you can be able to help yourself to really manage and able to help you to prevent you being sick. 嗱，各位同學，其實好重要咧。今日我要解釋咗咧，因為整體呢個好 important 嘅因為要我哋 dive deep to 去 understand 乜嘢叫糖尿病。咁你可以預防嘅。預防咗之後咧，你永遠都可以能夠繼續身體健康啦，咁幾開心啊！咁今日咧個講座喺呢度啦。Okay, so let's talk about what is the definition of diabetes. Now, diabetic is basically very simple. It's a very chronic disease. It's a lifelong disease. You know, where you don't get well. you basically has to control. And then if you can control well, then you don't get into all the heavy duty health problem. So in diabetic complication, it's very simple. Your blood sugar continue goes up, and then you really, when it goes up, adding all the cholesterol, then all the plaques will come in and harm all the blood vessels, and all the blockage, you're going to harm the nerve, entire body, and net result, you are blocking entire body now. It's not only your leg, your head, everywhere, and blocking for all the cells and so forth. So net result, you become a serious health issue will occur like 10 years or 5 years after you become diabetes. And they will slowly come up. But the sad part, beginning, you don't have much symptom. So it's like, oh, that's okay, I don't want to do anything. But day after, man, once you start, you can be reversed. Okay, so that's why I want to make sure you've been taught early so you can change your lifestyle. All that, you can do it. It's free of charge. It's up to you to do it. Okay， 嗱，各位同學，我首先要俾你了解咩叫糖尿病咧，就已經講好清楚啦。就係糖尿病咧，就係全身你嘅血管係咁塞，因為糖加埋你嘅膽固醇啲血便有結，就form咗好多血塊係咁塞，咁變咗咧就 damage 係所有血管啦。第二就 damage 埋你 nerve 啦，你神經系統啦，哇弊家伙啦！你神經系統 damage 咗之後，又係翻唔到轉頭嘅喎，咁你就好多不同嘅併發症啦。依家我講多啲併發症俾你聽，但係你都知道，哇！原來呢個係全身嘅，同埋仲有一樣嘢係你唔會好嘅，千祈以為我食藥啊，食得咁上我好翻㗎啦，唔會好嘅。當你糖尿病就永遠係咁啦。嗱 ，so really at the end of the day, the complication of your blood sugar going high is affected entire body and all the organs. For example, you can have stroke, loss of consciousness, and memory. That's the most important because just like a computer, you have a computer, but there's no brain. It cannot use, right? You cannot recognize, you can do it. And there's a lot of diabetic patients that exist. They forgot about things, short-term memory or shut up. They will keep asking the son, have you eaten dinner yet? 10, 15 times in 5, 10 minutes because you can't remember. So this is the kind of things that you will be end up. So do you want to have that? I don't think so. I want you to make sure you can remember your grandchildren's name and see people. That's what the most important. The worst thing, you get stroke. Now with stroke, you lie in a bed, is high health cost. Wow, that is suffering. So don't get that. Plus cataract and glaucoma. I have a lot of patients because diabetic, they lost the eyesight at 40 somewhat years old, my friend. Hey man, if you are 40 something, you're supposed to see the whole world, but now your whole thing is blur. Some got black spot. And lucky that we got early. I got him to see the doctor. They saved one eye, but on the hand, the eye doesn't work. Oh man, my goodness, they're engineer. So these are the problem you might face. Your pancreas doesn't work. You keep doing insulin shot. So now we're drinking those tea. A lot of people don't have to take insulin. Isn't that great? You don't have to cook yourself every day. Painful. And heart disease. A lot of people ignore the heart disease. 60% of the diabetic will have some form of heart disease. If your heart stops, you die. You are end of life. So don't let your heart stop because you know why? The plaque will go form in the coronary arteries and you will all stuck there and your heart might stop. And I don't want your heart stop because your heart stop, it means your engine stop, you die. And you don't want to do that to make sure that you want to keep healthy. You can see your grandchildren. And also high blood pressure, damage your blood vessel because all the sugar there are making your blood become hardened and you get able to get stroke, high blood pressure. Wow, that's not good. Nerve damage is another big issue. A lot of people don't understand that. Why nerve damage is a big issue? Because the nerve damage, you're going to start damaging the nerve. You can't feel. And then you can, then I feel is that, get injury, you don't know, you hurt yourself. You end up with gangrene, you got to cut your foot. Man, that's terrible. And then also 70% of the patient have diabetes will have damaged kidney. I saw the kidney. If you look at it, you are scared. This kidney become black and ugly looking and no longer work anymore. So net result, you have to go to dialysis. Man, dialysis, if you go hemodialysis, you go 3 times a day, 3 times a week, you go to hospital. And in Hong Kong, you do CAP, at least a better quality of life, but you still have to do this therapy every day. So whack up your life. So you don't want to go there because I deal with dialysis for many, many years. That is really not the place to go. And then pregnancy complication like pregnancy mother, the gestation diabetic. In 2-3 years, they don't watch out. You know what? They become a diabetes. And that's terrible. And sexual function, because you have nerve damage. 30% of diabetes have no sex because of the fact they can't feel. So all that is the typical complication you will able to see if you don't control being a diabetic. That's why I will show this slide and we'll dig in a little deeper and deeper to let you understand. 嗱，各位堂友，我講啲好嚴重嘅併發症俾你聽，因為其實咧糖尿病係好多依咁併發症嘅。第一唔記得係好 common 嘅。咁你咧婆婆啊或者 auntie 啊唔記得嘢，佢問你個仔，哇食咗飯未？或者10幾廿次5分鐘問喎，哇咁其實你就好煩噶喎，因為佢真係唔記得。仲有可以有中風啦，咁中風又仲加弊啦，嗰個 healthcare 好鬼貴嘅。盲啦，我有幾個 engineer， 因為佢係糖搞到糖尿眼弊家伙啦，睇唔到嘢，黑咪掹或者係 blur 嘅，咁變咗嚟講佢做 engineer 話 blur 好弊，即係唔使翻工差唔多，好咗救咗一隻眼嘅喎，咁但係都好辛苦啦，係咪？咁第二打胰島素啦，咁我好多病人依家唔使打胰島素啦，因為飲去涼茶啦，幾開心啊！咁仲有啦，心臟病，呢個最大問題。因為咧，你個血管塞嘅時候咧，塞咗啲重要嘅血管啦 ，coronary artery 嗰啲咧，一心入發作嘅時候死人噶喎，即係變咗嚟講，你就冇咗，即係唔見咗你噶咯喎。咁所以變咗就千祈唔好，咁就血壓上升啦，又會 stroke 啦，或者血管硬化啦，血糖喺細路咧血管硬化嘅。咁同埋咧，最好多人都唔知道有個神經系統損壞，呢個係好重要嘅。當你神經系統你冇感覺啊，冇感覺嘅時候咧，好多嘢咧係。你冇問題啊，即係冇唔痛嘅。咁但係個問題咧，可能損咗地方你又唔醫，咁你好快脆咧就爛咗條割咗個腳啦。腎病係一個大問題嘅，喺個糖尿病嘅。啱有一樣，我見個腎咧就變黑色嘅啫。咁所以變咗冇得 function 啦。咁你洗腎啦，哇！每個禮拜去醫院3次喎，梗係唔好啦，係咪？又好貴喎，或者屋企嘅縮腹膜透析啦，但係都好過每去洗3次血啦。咁就啦 ，pregnancy 同樣嘅問題又係出現嘅。啲人已經有糖尿病pregnancy 咧，咁但係好翻啦，咁但係3至5年啫，又變咗糖尿病咯。咁但係30% 嘅病人咧係冇性功能，因為冇感覺。So let's talk about first of all, we talk about circulation. So we talk about the whole body circulating, large vessel. So it's called macrovascular. And then the smaller circulation is microvascular. Okay, both of them have different complications. The big blood vessel, like your heart vessel, artery, and vein, and because of the, these vessels are being plugged, so you're going to end up including potential of the heart attack, stroke, or you have a peripheral vascular disease called PVD, and very common if you are diabetic. And also there's a microvascular complication, which affect all the smaller vessels, including the eye damage. If you look at the retina of the eye, you can see the blood vessels are forming all over the place. And then it's really good because if you get the eye doctor to show you a diabetic, you're not well controlled, you can see cholesterol start coming out, the blood will start bleeding everywhere. So that would be a good way to really able to see the condition of your eye, which tell the whole body how being plugged. I think that would be the best way, because most likely you are not going to go stuck a scope in and look at a blood vessel, right? But looking at the eye, you can see everything. So eye damage is a big one. And the kidney damage is another big one, because I actually see the kidney become totally black malfunction. So also you have nerve damage is another one. So all that is add together, you have the complication of micro and macrovascular complication. Now, 兩樣嘢咧要解釋下嘅，大血管同細血管。大血管咧嗰啲係動脈啊、靜脈啊 ，affect 你嘅心臟啊，咁你會可能中風啊，呢啲全部係嗰啲大血管做個問題嚟嘅。咁細血管咧喺邊度咧？就係你嗰啲眼睛啦。如果最好咧，你去個眼科醫生睇你嘅眼嘅時候咧，叫佢俾埋你睇個 retina 啦，佢好多時都有個電視機俾你睇到嘅。咁你睇你眼嗰度咧，如果你係 唔係有控制好嘅糖尿病者嚇傻你自己嘅，因為點解咧？你血管係咁張圍係咁生，咁但係咧裏邊咧弊家伙有好多咧係已經塞晒啊 cholesterol 走埋出嚟啊嗰啲咁，哇！其實就睇到咧，哇！原來你係好弊嘅，所以眼嗰度係損壞咗，你就開始盲噶咯喎。咁同埋仲有咧腎病啦，因為啲微輸管壞咗，腎嗰壞咗，個腎唔 work 喎。咁唔 work 嘅時候點啊？弊家伙洗腎啦。咁同埋仲有咧神經系統損壞，亦都係一個好大嘅問題嘅。So another thing is insulin resistance. Okay, now the problem is the body will continue if you continue killing all the B cells, the damaged B cells, the B cells not going to work. Will continue to get more and more insulin resistant. So the insulin keep coming out, but on the hand it doesn't work. So you have more sugar in the bloodstream. So rest now your blood sugar continue to rise. And that is one of the common issue, especially when you have long-term and diabetes. Insulin resistance is a big problem. And that's why a lot of people say, hey, I keep getting my medication, but my body doesn't seem to respond. And they drink low sugar tea and biossensor boom, works. And because low sugar tea increase insulin sensitivity, it takes back the sugar in the cells. So that is something that they said, gee, I keep adding medication, it doesn't work. But after drinking the sugar, it works. Okay. And that is exactly what it does. Okay. 嗱，胰島素抗拒咧係好 common 嘅，因為咧佢殺咗咁多 B cell 損壞咗啦，咁咪唔帶俾糖佢啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，越多出嘅咧，佢亦都唔 work， 因為嗰啲胰島素 affected by 嗰個cholesterol 啊，搞到佢個B cell 唔 work， 咁變咗嚟講咧，你就越整越弊，所以嗰啲藥咧越整越高，但係都唔降到血糖，所以有陣時咧飲咗去糖茶咧，有啲好多病人咧飲咗之後咧，忽然間冰 work 喎，咁變咗嚟講咧係因為佢真係 increase 咗你胰島素敏感度，帶翻糖入去，咁所以變咗咧呢個胰島素敏感係好緊要嘅。咁仲有 OK，so also other factors that affect insulin resistance. For example, if you're obese, obesity is a big factor that interferes your insulin function. So if you're over the obesity, a lot of fat cell, all these are affected your insulin resistance. And then also, if you don't move much, I'm a couch potato, I want to watch TV. That's another major risk to give you the insulin resistance, because exercise actually improve insulin sensitivity, and they will actually use the glucose or your blood sugar more effectively. So very important, go out to walk after dinner. Go to walk in the parking lot, not parking lot, but in the neighborhood or your shopping mall. That will definitely help you, okay? And also sometimes the generic effect, because some people have generic that really have already set up for your self-insulin resistance. That some people just happen to be that way. And on top of that, also some of the certain medical condition for polycystic disease or Cushing syndrome also cause insulin resistance. So for women, this is something that you need to watch, because that's unfortunately the case. Okay, so there are other factors besides your cholesterol goes up, damage the B cell. These are the other factors that affect your insulin resistance. 嗱，仲有胰島素抗拒有幾樣嘢係肥胖啦，因為肥胖咧係會影響胰島素，尤其是大肚墩嗰啲人啊，更加多機會係有 insulin resistance， 同埋有啲人咧係唔喐嘅，佢唔中意做 exercise 嘅。嗱，如果你做 exercise 好啊，因為 exercise 咧係改善咗胰島素嘅敏感度，增長咗佢，咁佢帶翻啲糖咧入翻你個血管裏邊。咁仲有好多時有遺傳啊，因為你本身遺傳都係有問題嘅，咁冇解啦。咁同埋咧，仲有咧有啲係即係喺個卵巢嗰度好多嘅卵巢嘅卵巢嘅綜合症啦。咁呢個咧亦都係會影響個即係胰島素敏感度嘅。咁變咗嚟講咧，呢啲咧係全部咧係幫助胰島素抗拒。OK， now Dean will talk about insulin resistance now. We'll talk about inflammation. Now, if you have a lot of sugar all over the body, the body will thought that, wow, I have an infection. So because of the fact that you are having high blood sugar. It affects the entire body. Thought that, wow, I'm infected. So you have a chronic inflammation, which is caused by your continued high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and it will help to start damaging your blood vessels all entire body, because your blood continue to have high blood sugar. Your body thought it was infected, so your blood vessels are continue inflamed, and all that will also increase the insulin resistance, and also interfere of the insulin signal, the pathway, and so forth, using insulin. So really, inflammation is not good for your body, because they thought that you are continuing infection. So the body will keep thinking, well, I better start working on your body. So high blood sugar can trigger inflammation, and that's not something you want to be. 仲有一樣嘢咧，如果咧成身咧係咁即係好多糖咧，咁個 body 咧就以為，咦，我有發炎喎，咁我就將嗰個即刻咧就會有個好大嘅反應啦。咁血管咧就開始即係脹大啦 ，inflame 發炎嗰個感覺。OK， 當你做咗呢樣嘢，佢會損壞咩？成個血管啊，成身嘅血管係咁損壞喎。仲有咧神經系都損壞啦。咁亦都有一個機會咧係將佢胰島素咧即係抗拒佢啊。咁同埋咧就係點用嘅胰島素糖亦都會抗拒，咁俾啲糖咪唔係咁 effective 用到落去你個cell 嗰啲細胞裏邊啦。咁呢個係一個好大嘅問題嘅，所以變咗嚟講咧，千祈唔好俾啲糖太高，繼續 inflame 你個成個 blood vessel 啦。So now we talk about, gee, saying all these, how does it link back to my body? Okay, because when it link back to your body, basically. If your blood sugar goes up, you have high blood pressure. We talk about why, because all the plaque forming throughout the vessels, right? So high blood pressure. And you will definitely, with high cholesterol, mixing the sugar, you got a high cholesterol. And then that will affect you what? Your heart, your kidney, your blood vessel, and your feet. Because what happened is when you have high blood sugar, it might potentially block the sugar. Block with the cholesterol and your sugar and start blocking the heart vessel. It will damage the kidney and damage all your blood vessels, and then you end up with stroke. So all these potentially you become a life-threatening disease because your heart stops, you're gone. Your kidney doesn't work, you have serious problem because you have dialysis. So, and you have blood vessels all plugged up, you have stroke. Wow, all these are bad condition to threaten your life. So don't go in that path, okay? High cost and also tremendous amount of medical discomfort for you. And then you want to make sure you're healthy and don't go into this path. 嗱，各位朋友，嗱，今日咧講咧，仲有好多嘢咧，就係當你高糖嘅時候咧，你就 most likely 有高血壓同埋高膽固醇。呢啲嘢咧，全部係會影響你嘅心臟啦、腎啦。同埋你所有血管或者你嘅腳，嗱，呢啲咁嘅東西嚟講咧，如果你係影響你心血管，就係會有中風啦，腎又要洗腎啦，呢啲係全面 potential 咧有個 heart threatening 嘅，即係會有生命危險嘅併發症，所以 we don't want to get into that， 唔好行呢條路 ，OK？ 咁啦 ，OK， now let's talk about, well, you talking about the heart. What does that mean? Why the heart is so important? Well, if you're diabetic, you have 60% of a chance to get cardiovascular disease. And this is the leading cause for people who are diabetic and die. I have a patient who actually is dialyzed with CAPD for 5 years. Now, nice thing about it is, she can dialyze in the junk. But at the end of the day, age 70, she died of a heart attack. So what happened if you have diabetes, you basically create yourself with, the thing that is plugged up in your body, it doesn't go away. So you have to continue to work on to make sure that your blood vessels are continue to be good. So you have to check your heart. So cardiovascular disease are very common. And what happened is if you don't take care, it will damage your heart and all the blood vessels. And it can lead to like heart attack, stroke, and peripheral vascular disease. Okay, that is common. That's why I want everybody to make sure understand, if you're diabetic, you have to check is your heart. And I'll tell you another story later. 嗱，各位朋友，如果你有糖尿病咧，你一定要注意個心臟病嘅情況。點解咧？因為咧糖尿加埋嗰啲即係你糖咧、血糖啦，加埋膽固醇就會好，即係令你血好結啦。咁就全身塞，一個地方塞咗就係心臟血管，佢會破壞血管。當佢塞咗之後咧，啲心臟係唔 work 嘅時候咧，你就會死人或者中風，或者周圍嘅血管咧都會有硬化，咁就變咗一個即係血管嘅疾病啦，咁就好弊嘅。嗱，我講一個真實個案俾你聽啦，就我呢度有一個病人啦，咁個糖咧我係好高咧，已經將佢降低到係7以下噶啦。咁但係咧佢 cholesterol 好高嘅。咁問佢你有冇同醫生傾過，去下見下個心臟健康醫生啊？咁佢話咩嚟㗎？咁其實佢都唔係好懂喎，因為佢覺得佢現在個家庭醫生照顧佢啦。我話或者你應該去揾個心臟醫生睇睇喎。咁當佢睇完心臟醫生嘅時候咧，醫生話嗱，你有兩條路嘅，第一條路就即刻去通波仔，第二條路你就唔使翻嚟㗎啦，因為佢覺得咧佢啲96% 塞咗，如果你唔通波仔咧，你好快就拜拜。咁其實咧呢個係真係一個係好實在嘅東西，我見過好多病人就係因為咁而過世，係唔想你去呢條路。OK， 咁啊盡量真係要注意個心。So I want to tell you a real story of one of my patients. Blood sugar is very high, 10 plus. But because drinking low-sugar tea or the things you do, he brought his sugar back to like 7 and below. However, I noticed his cholesterol, LDL cholesterol is very high. It's like 4. So I told him, hey, have you, checked with a doctor, see a cardiologist? And he said, what is cardiologist? So I said, hey, cardiologist is a special heart doctor to look after you, right? So he started actually go there and check it out. The doctor said, okay, you have 2 choices. The first choice, right away you can set up angioplasty and actually to make sure your big blood vessel in the heart is patent and not plugged, because his heart coronary artery is already 96% blocked. So that's the first choice. Second choice is you probably don't ever come back if you don't do that. So he went to do it, and he was very happy. He felt that I, basically saved his life. It's not what I really did save, but I just alerted him he has to see a cardiologist. So don't ignore your heart, because that is a big issue. Now, so really at the end of the day, when you become a diabetic, you have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. 60% of the diabetic patient, it is some kind of heart disease. The reason is high blood sugar, it damages your vessel from plaques and fats everywhere in the whole body. Plus, it is actually go plug up your coronary artery arteries, and it blocks the blood going through the vessels. So because with the reduced blood flow, your heart in 5-10 minutes, you feel pain because it doesn't get the food or the blood, you will die. Okay, if you get heart attack, you just feel so hot, because the cells that start dying in the heart. So you really have to check it out. Plus the brain is the same thing, because the brain, the blood going through, it blocks, so the back of the area of the brain not getting the food from blood, you will stop function. That's where you got stroke. Now, secondly, you have high blood pressure, major factors on cardiovascular disease, because they damage not only your heart and all the vessels throughout the day, okay? Because you have high blood pressure, plus high cholesterol is the same thing, because they form plaques everywhere, the entire body. So these are the reason why you have potential heart disease, 60% now, imagine that, okay? 嗱，各位記住，心臟病咧，如果你係個病人咧，增加風險係好高嘅，因為你血糖高咧，佢就會 end up 咧就 form 好多加埋 cholesterol 咧就 form 咗好多板塊，係全身係咁塞，尤其個心臟係咁塞。咁你血管心臟嘅血嚟到咧過唔到去呢邊咧，個心就開始壞咯喎。咁心壞嘅時候咧，你就會好痛忽然間啦，咁你就會 heart attack。咁如果你 heart attack 咧，就呢個就如果你係唔夠時間，即係嗰啲血仲去到個心臟嗰度，個心就會停嘅。停咗你死㗎咯喎，係咪？咁同埋咧，亦都係同個腦一樣，嗰啲血咧去唔到呢度，去唔到後邊個腦嗰度咧，咁你就會有中風危險。 咁血壓高咧係好大問題嘅，因為血壓高咧就係佢將個所有血管硬化，繼續損壞，心臟血管都係咁損壞咧，你就死人嘅。咁但係如果你膽固醇繼續成日高咧，咁啊膽固醇放乜嘢啊？放好多 plaques 啊，啲血板塊係全身咁塞，咁所以就越將你全身嘅血管咧都硬化同埋塞，咁你就有好嘅問題咧會出現㗎啦。So another problem that you will see is your kidney disease. Now, why kidney is a major factor of kidney disease is not good? You know, because kidney is very important to help you to get rid of all your fluid, your poison, and all that stuff, right? So your kidney damage, you cannot get all the poison out, and you will end up dialysis. And on top of that, because you have diabetes, it's damaging all the small vessels in the kidney, so no longer do filtration anymore, and your kidney is going to start failing. And you know what? When the kidney fails, your kidney will become shrink out and all black. It doesn't work. And so if you are able, when you have that, you end up with dialysis. Plus, because you have really had high blood sugar, your kidney failing, your immunity also turned really bad. So you end up with a lot more infection and so forth. So do not walk into this road, because this is not a very good road. It's tremendous health issue, costly issue, and is not going to give you quality of life. So kidney disease, you can prevent it if you can also control your blood sugar. As simple as that. 腎病係一個嚴重嘅問題，因為75% 嘅糖尿病病者有腎病嘅。咁如果佢有腎病咧，損壞咗腎咧，就嗰啲血過去之後咧，佢 filter 唔到啊。咁變咗嚟講咧，你所有嘅毒素仲喺身體裏邊啦，咁變咗嚟講咧，你就要好多問題都要話 ，eventually 你就要咩啊？就係洗腎。洗腎一個禮拜你去3次，或者你屋企洗 CAPD 都要日日洗，咁就好辛苦嘅。咁變咗嚟講咧，希望你唔好去呢度啦。咁同埋仲有咧，當你有糖尿病，再加血糖嗰啲血管係全部係塞咧，個腎功能係弱咧，咁你免疫都降低喎，咁有好多 eventually 有好多種不同嘅發炎，哇！咁啊真係咧好辛苦啦。Okay, so what is the common kidney disease then? Now, common disease caused by really damaging the small blood vessel that kidney have to help you to filter, because your long-term kidney problem or diabetes, your kidney is not going to start not functioning anymore because all the filtration vessels are damaged. Okay, so which is eventually you will actually become a irreversible damage. Like for example, your kidney used to be able to filter a lot, and then eventually get 30%. Once you get to 30%, you know what? You're going to start dialysis already, or prepare yourself to dialysis. So you end up become an end-stage renal disease, which is the last one. When you're end-stage renal disease, your kidney no longer function anymore. And so you need to, like 20% of your kidney function, most likely you could end up with called ESRD already, end-stage renal disease. You might need to have dialysis already. And when you need dialysis, either you go with CAP, which is the better dialysis, because you can able to preserve your kidney, even 20% forever, for a long time, you can do CAPD well. So hopefully you want to do that, because you don't want to go hemodialysis. But once you go hemodialysis, your kidney shrink down to be a peanuts. When like a peanuts is total no function. And so it is really good if you can talk to your doctor. Hey, you know, if I have only 20% or even 30%, what you can do is get CAPD, allow you to continue let your kidney to function, but a lot of things that they can filter. Now you have your CAPD therapy to get your filter out, coming out from peritoneum and go, and you can dialyze anyway. So it's really a much better therapy. Go do that. But you still don't want to go into this route, because really a lot of medical treatment you have to do, which will lower your quality of life. 糖尿病咧最大問題咧就好多人咧係糖尿病咧開始損壞個腎裏邊咧嘅微絲血管，咁損壞咗微絲血管之後咧個腎就唔會去 filter 你啲毒素啊走出嚟嘅喎，咁一路落去嘅時候咧你個
腎就繼續係降低嘅功能。咁要降低功能咧，去到個相地方嘅，即係譬如去由50去30，去30咧，去20咧，你 consider 已經係末期嘅腎病啦，叫 ESRD。咁到呢個嘅時候咧，你就一定要洗腎。洗腎咧最好咧就用個 CAPD 咧，即係腹膜透析液啦。咁你就更加 maintain 到腎咧係咁大個，繼續係 function 啦。佢只係 filter 唔得，講好講你幫助個腎咧。去用個 CAPD 嘅 therapy 咧去做呢樣嘢咧，最低限度你可以捱20年都得嘅，但係一定要日日洗喎，一日洗4次喎。咁所以變咗咧喺屋企洗就得，唔使出去洗。咁你變咗咧其實都唔想咁煩啦，係咪？咁但係如果你洗咗血咧，弊家伙，你血咧即刻個腎咧就縮到呢個 peanuts 咁花生咁啦，咁就冇晒用噶咯喎。咁你更加差就要去醫院洗啊，咁就好辛苦嘅。所以變咗嚟講，千祈唔好行呢條路。希望你真係可能夠控制啲血糖之後，唔會搞爛壞咗腎，你要做呢樣嘢。Okay, a lot of people don't realize besides the kidney and heart, another problem is you affect your what? Your eyes. Diabetic retinopathy is the very common eye disease that people have diabetes. And it damages eye vessels and retina, so you cannot see well, you get floating, black spot, blur, all that will come in. So really, I have a lot of patients who are 40-something years old. They are in this stage, maybe in one eye, lucky. But really, at the end of the day, why you are 40 years old, you cannot see, isn't that kind of sad? Not to go in this route, my friend. Do make sure control your sugar so you will able to have eyesight for the rest of your life. Do not take in such a route that you cannot see. 嗱，糖尿病者原來可以損壞眼睛咧，好後生都有，因為有啲40幾歲嘅 engineer， 即係做engineer 嘅人士啦，嚟到見我哋啦，咁變咗佢原來佢隻眼已經壞咗啦。咁一好咗一隻眼嘅喎，如果兩隻眼壞咗就弊家伙，真係變咗盲嘅咯喎。咁好多病人咧就因為咁樣盲咗嘅。咁變咗盲嘅時候，因為佢損壞咗眼嘅血管啦，咁佢眼血管壞咗之後就做唔到神經系統 send 啲 information 啦，咁隻眼咧就睇唔到啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧係好大問題嘅。咁我希望你可能夠注重，唔好做呢樣。So what is symptom of diabetic retinopathy? Basically, what the most common is blurred vision or double vision. Now, I have a lot of patients who are 40-something, that's where they start up, blurred vision or double vision. So everything blur is really sad because once damage is very hard to correct it back. And also some of the people have difficulty light night because they see outside is all black. Also the dark spot floating all around. Eventually their vision loss. And that's the reason why a lot of the elderly diabetic patients, they're scared to go out at nighttime because they think that, wow, the whole world is black. The reason is because their vision are being damaged by all the diabetes. So really, I saw a lot of patients, they scared to go out. Even you take them out, they cannot see. You have to hold their hand. They are lost sometimes, even in the shopping mall, and bright light. So really, if your parents or auntie or uncle have this issue, take them to the doctor really fast and hope that we can be able to save their vision. Because really, with the better vision, you have much more enjoyable life. And that's what we're trying to do. 嗱，好多朋友唔知道咧，原來糖尿眼咧好大問題。多數好多人咧就會模糊啦，睇唔到嘢啦。佢睇到或者有個腹，佢會睇到好黑啦。所以啲老人家咧係唔敢出去嘅。咁變咗嚟講咧，就呢個係好大問題，因為佢唔敢出去嘅時候咧，佢係見唔到嗰個病咧，即係佢睇唔到啊眼咧，咁佢係lecture so it's really hard because they cannot see 睇唔到啊，咁最後咧就會失眠啦，失咗個眼就睇唔到嘢。咁希望你各位朋友咧 都要注重呢樣嘢，唔好俾你親戚朋友睇唔到嘢。咁我覺得如果係嘅話咧，你就可能夠做到咧，哇！咁你就好開心啦，因為你唔會有呢個問題咧，俾佢睇唔到嘢。尤其是有好多老人家咧，佢出到嚟嘅時候，即係成個形象都睇黑咪掹嘅，咁佢就好驚嘅。咁去到 shopping mall 會蕩失路嘅，咁好多人以嚟咁，所以希望你即係注重呢個咧，咁你變咗佢唔會即係俾到佢有呢個咁得人驚嘅環境啦，係咪？Now, another one is I understand is nerve damage and diabetes. Okay. Now, nerve damage is one of the things that a lot of people don't even know or they even pay attention. Now, because you are diabetic, because of all the vessels are blocked, it's always damaged the what? Your nerve. It's called diabetic neuropathy. When your nerve is that damaged, it's also affected most likely your feet. Your feet become numb, cannot feel, your hand cannot feel, and your leg has the same issue. So really, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't really realize when you're diabetic, chances of diabetic neuropathy is high. That's why you always try to check. Make sure you massage your feet, make sure that you feel your leg. This is the very common effect to your nerve and feet and legs, okay, when you're diabetes. So think about that. So start working on it, okay? 神經系統損壞咧，好多病人咧都唔知嘅。原來咧，如果你係糖尿病咧，你可以引致你所有全身嘅神經系統都損壞喎，可以影響你個身體任何一笪地方嘅神經系統。好多咧就係腳開始嘅，或者係手開始啦。咁有嗰時咧冇咗感覺腳咧，有時感覺痛啦，兩個都有嘅。所以變咗嚟講咧，希望你真係可以能夠注重咧，就唔會令到你嘅腳啊嗰啲東西咧係冇咗神經系統嘅即係神經去損壞咗。咁點樣能夠 prevent 佢咧？就降低你血糖啦。OK， 嗱。So what is a sign and symptom? We talk about, well, damage your nerve. So what is a sign and symptom of typically people who nerve damage? The most common I found is numbness and tingling feeling of the hand and feet. Okay. And some of them you have burning sensation of the hand and feet. Some will feel weakness of the feet. Some will have muscle cramps, difficult to maintain a balance. So also the worst that if your foot is start getting a sore, ulcer, infection, and eventually end up with gangrene. I see gangrene where the bones already shows up and you have to amputate. I saw that all the time. So I don't want you guys to be in that. Now, a lot of pre-diabetic don't even know because what happened is diabetic, they don't know is because they're in numbness and of the numbers of tingling on the feet and hand. So that can be a serious issue. And that result, they will end up actually, this is just pre-diabetic, not diabetes. They will start feeling the tingling of the hands and feet. That's the first instance. So net result, if you are continue to maintain that, it will move further down. Eventually, they become even they're pre-diabetic. But that is the thing that they start feeling, tingling and hand and feet. And some of them, they start feeling numb and so forth. Slowly come to when they become diabetes, it get worse and worse and worse. So don't think as though diabetes is starting with the diabetic neuropathy. Even a pre-diabetic, they have that potential to start off. So don't try to be, really you start seeing that, you better start looking at really lower your blood sugar not to get yourself into this stage. 嗱，糖尿病影響你神經系統轉變，所以咧你個手啊同腳啊就會有麻痹痛。嗱，其實前期患病都有呢個問題嘅，但係即係少量啲啦。但係當你由前期患病轉糖尿病咧，呢個咧就會繼續多噶啦。咁就腳會有痛啦，有麻痹啦，或者感覺好熱啦，或者冇力啦。咁有啲人有肌肉收縮啦，仲有咧失咗平衡啦。最弊咧就係你即係隻腳咧係損壞咗啊，即係割開咗啊，咁就可以發炎又唔會好喎。咁唔會好嘅時候咧，你弊啦，因為佢會變咗真係壞咗。我見到有啲病人咧有 gangrene 到點咧，見到骨嚟嘅，咁你係幾慘咧？要割咗個腳，真係割咗個腳。所以變咗嚟講 ，don't go into 嗰啲咁嘅問題。Now, another thing too is skin damage in diabetes. Now, people with diabetic also have increased skin issue, all kind of issues. Some of them is going to be all red, like a big infection of the entire leg. Some become like the skin become flaky, like, you know, the whole leg is, all the skins are falling apart. All kind of this can happen. And also you can have blister. Oh, that's common. Now, not only diabetes, pre-diabetic is the first thing you feel your leg become very dry, and you have to really put cream all the time to increase the moisture. If not, it will easy to get dry skin, and you end up will be infections that coming. So you gotta watch that. So every day skin you have to really take care of, and don't let it just ignore. 嗱，糖尿病者咧好多時咧前期患病最多噶啦，開始先就係個皮膚損壞。咁皮膚咧係點樣咧？就係血糖上升咗啦，咁個血糖高咗之後咧，就皮膚會出現問題啦。咁呢啲問題咧，其實咧係好常見嘅。最弊咧，好多時咧有 blister 啊，嗰啲即係起泡泡啊，起咗之後唔會好啊，咁你係幾弊咧？好似呢啲咁咧，咁啊弊家伙啦。咁要一定要即刻去處理，搽好多 cream 落去啊咁。So really, some of the warning signs you will see in skin is like your skin become dry, itchy. And a lot of these pre-diabetic patients even have this dry, itchy skin. And then worse, that you scratch it, you injure the skin, and you got to get infected. So don't scratch. Put cream over there, prevent it from itchy. Second is fungal infection, bacterial infection, skin tag. Then you have diabetic dermopathy, which is red or brown spot all over the skin. Plus, you have all kind of patches of blister and outbreak, a small reddish yellow bump. Those are things that always see. So you got to be really take care of it, put cream, or go to see a doctor, make sure those are taken care of, because you got to get it to heal and do well. If you don't do it, you get infected, you are in trouble. 嗱，糖尿病者咧喺皮膚上嘅問題咧有好多警號出嚟嘅，皮膚乾燥啦、痕癢啦，有細菌嘅感染啦，皮膚有個標籤出現啦，同埋糖尿病咧上面有紅腫啦，有斑點啦，同埋仲有起泡水泡啦，仲有黃色嘅腫啦。嗱，呢啲嘢全部咧都係要注重嘅。嗱，前期患病咧最多就皮膚乾同埋痕癢。千祈唔好拗咗之後發現俾你仲大鑊，咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你係真係要處理呢啲東西嘅。如果係咁嘅，見醫生。So what is strategy to really manage all these complications? Because we talk a lot about strategy, talk about your heart disease, talk about kidney, talk about your skin, talk about how to prevent stroke and so forth. Now we're going to talk about how to control and how to manage your problem. Now, really most important, remember one thing, control your blood sugar. Control your blood sugar. That's the first step. So how do you control your blood sugar? Very important. You want to make sure your A1C drop below 6.4%. Drop below 6.4%. If you're 8.5% A1C, you got to have it to go to drop it below 6.4. Now, to do that is very simple. You gotta drink low sugar tea, exercise, your diet, and your weight control. If you minus 10% of your weight, you will be able to achieve at least 1% drop on the A1C. So in other words, if I'm 7, I'll go down to 6. Isn't that wonderful? Or you're 8, I'll drop down to 7. So control your blood sugar A1C. Now, certainly every time you're gonna go to make sure check your regular checkup with a doctor, make sure understand your blood sugar, what is at, and a lot of times you have to daily measure blood sugar or buy one of the Abbott Libby to able to check your average blood sugar and one of these machines so you can know where you are at all the time, and that's important. And the doctor will usually measure your blood sugar, and you notice I'm 5.7 right now. I'm just measuring myself with no pain whatsoever. 5.7, okay? So you got to do that every day, and you do it about 16 times a day. That's okay. So you always understand where I'm at, okay? And you will measure your blood pressure, cholesterol level, also assess any complication. That has to be a regular checkup and screen. Now, very important, you have to make sure you have a lifestyle modification, which is including eating a diet. You have to regular exercise, 10,000 steps a day if you can, and then at least 150 hours. Make sure that you have enough day work, 10,000 every day step. I'm talking about step every day. And you can able to achieve that by just walking shopping mall or walk in a neighborhood. And Hong Kong will be good at shopping mall because air conditioned, listen to music, look at other things, really nice. So you can also eat a very healthy diet. Like, for example, one plate, all vegetable, all greens. 1/4 is going to be your protein, like fish, low fat, like chicken, not red meat. And 1/4 will be your starch, but eat things like red rice, brown rice, beans. So all those things will help you that modify your diet. And then you can exercise, I said already, 10,000 steps. Your weight, BMI, go down from 30 all the way 23, lower. And then you also drink Lo-Shu tea, add as your diet, drink every day, 8 cups a day. With that, you will definitely help you to control your health much better and your blood sugar. And you have to measure your blood sugar because you don't measure your blood sugar, you don't know where you're at. So very important to do that every day. 嗱，好重要嘅糖尿病病，只要一樣嘢咧，就係你要控制一樣嘢，血糖。點控制血糖咧？就一定話食藥啦，飲去糖茶啦，將你 A1C 由高處你嘅 whatever 你嘅 number 可能10跌翻6.4啊，做呢樣嘢可能你需要去糖茶。飲咗去糖茶之後，同埋你嘅 diet control、你 exercise 同埋你嘅藥物，再加埋你嘅磅數嘅控制，你一定達到你嘅目的嘅。嗱，去糖茶唔係藥嚟㗎，係一個食物。所以變咗嚟講係冇相撞嘅，所以任何人將啲飲就得㗎啦。記住咗一樣嘢，仲有你要一定要睇醫生。你睇醫生之後咧，能夠知道醫護係有咩幫到你啦。咁你變咗嚟講，你就可以咧幫助你咧係即係檢查你血糖、血壓、膽固醇嘅水平，因為佢度咗血，你知你喺邊度。改變你生活習慣係最重要嘅。控制血糖咧，一定由佢改變生活習慣，譬如 exercise 1萬步一日啦，食嘅健康一半係全部係菜，1/4係食你嘅雞肉啊、魚啊，就唔好紅肉啊。其他1/4咧係食你嘅米啊、紅米啊、brown rice 啊、豆啊，咁嗰啲咧做埋晒，再飲去糖茶咧，咁你嘅 chance 係成功咧係10分高嘅。但係你做咗呢樣嘢係幫助你全部係做咩啊？哇，身體健康 ，OK。So you really need to also now understand better now. You need to go on looking at make sure that you don't have heart disease. Like for example, you don't get shot, chest pain, especially pain from here radiate up to the neck. Those are a sign to tell you get your ambulance right away, my friend. Make sure that if you have chest pain here, it goes up to your neck, you are going to hospital immediately, not doctor office. You feel shortness of breath, dizziness, lightheaded, and then you start numbness or tingling of feet and leg. These are signs that you may potential heart attack. Call ambulance, not going doctor office. Call ambulance and get there. Then if you have kidney disease, most likely you have foamy urine, you have frequent urination, you feel fatigue, your blood pressure go up. These are kind of signs and symptoms of kidney disease. Eye damage, then you will start seeing blurry eye, double vision. It's also difficult to see at night. And also things become dark. That is a very common sign of eye damage, which you need to actually see an eye doctor right away to help you and see whether he can help you to prevent further damage. Because once it's damaged, cannot reverse. Also, nerve damage is very common also. You have the numbness, tingling of pain, and weakness of feet. Can you walk? That is another sign of nerve damage. A lot of people, even pre-diabetic, or start getting nerve damage, is tingling, feeling. The feeling feel numb and hard. I saw a lot of pre-diabetic patients do that. So you need to start educating yourself. This is the sign and symptom. You will have a diabetic. And this is the typical complication you will have. So you got to understand that. 嗱，你要教育自己啦。因為糖尿病咧，一定有好多心血管嘅病咧，就會令到咧，可能你會有心臟病發作啦。咁你就係呢個係非常好痛啊 ，sharp pain， 仲有 radiate 上去頸度啊，膊頭痛啦，同埋你會氣促啦、頭暈啦，同埋咧隻腳開始麻痹啦，呢啲咧就唔係去睇醫生啦，即刻叫咩10字車帶你去醫院急症室，因為咧 mostly heart attack 咧，可能你就係忽然間會係停個心臟嘅時候咧。喺醫生未必救到你啊，係急症先救到你。咁腎臟嘅問題咧，好多時咧，你個尿啊好多泡出嚟啦，你會覺得疲倦啦，就係成日去小便啦，高血壓啦，呢亦都係常見嘅腎臟嘅問題 ，which 你要即刻處理嘅。眼睛模糊啊，視力模糊啊，夜間睇唔到嘢啊，老人家更加特別咧，哇好差啊出邊，咁呢啲就眼睛問題要帶去睇醫生。快脆可能係希望控制咗眼嘅 damage。咁就係神經系統嘅損壞咧，隻腳麻痹啊、刺痛啊、好痛啊，呢啲亦都要睇醫生咧，係幫助你控制血糖咧，就希望減到你神經系統嘅損壞。So we have talked a lot about, really all the major issues you have on diabetes, especially heart, kidney, eye, and your nerve issues. So what can you do is really at the end of the day, low SHUTI might really able to help you lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and your blood pressure level, and also detox. And that result will help you to prevent you of being pre-diabetic and diabetes. If you have diabetes, we will help you reverse back to that pre-diabetic, which is really good. We want to slow down all the vein, blood vessel damage, so you continue good health. 去糖茶其實點幫你嘅重要咧，就係佢真係降低你血糖、膽固醇同血壓。其實我又希望令到你咧能夠啲血管咧唔會俾損壞。咁你繼續係身體健康，呢個先係最重要，能夠令到你減低你血糖啦，減低你嘅壞嘅膽固醇啦，減低血壓咧，咁呢個已經好大嘅幫手㗎啦。OK， 咁如果你降低咗三高咧，你其實咧就已經降你比你更加。所有其他嘅 risk 咧係身體差嘅 risk 咧係全部降低到嘅。咁其實今日咧我哋講嘅嘢咧係好重要嘅，係能夠你了解點能夠你係積極咁去幫助你去減低你嘅糖尿病嘅併發症。So today our conclusion is that we are giving you lots of tips how proactively you can manage your diabetic complication, and that is so important. It can be.I know it can be challenging, could be there might be an issue that might overweight or a challenge. And top of that is also that you might able to, when you have diabetes, you can definitely reduce your risk of the complication to manage your blood sugar level through all the diet, exercise, medication, drinking low SHUTI, and also make sure that you can lower your weight, and you can make sure regular checkup and screening a doctor and any kind of complication, you can already early identify. When you're early identify, then you can able to really hopefully change that condition to, instead of going south, going worse, now you can maintain, because the sad part of diabetes, you don't get well. All you can do is control. So really, at the end of the day, why I want to go through all these programs, hope that you, even in pre-diabetic state, you start already changing a lifestyle, in like eating healthy, you do exercise, you are in weight control, you measure your blood sugar to continue to track where you're at. And then you can able with that, you can reduce the risk of complication. So that way you'll be continue healthy. You lower your 3 high. Most important, lower your 3 high. And you're making changes all the time to maintain, to lower that 3 high. The chances of you, when you lower your 3 high, you have much lesser chance to become a diabetes. You also decrease the risk you become a pre-diabetic or diabetic. So all these today, I hope we gave you a big general picture, you can understand and you can able to prevent yourself to become a pre-diabetic or diabetes。今日講好多嘢俾你聽咧，係好重要嘅。雖然呢樣嘢係好似哇好多嘢喎，要好挑戰喎，但係糖尿病咧，其實咧一定要做呢啲嘢咧，就降低你中風嘅風險啊、心臟病嘅風險啊，同埋你嘅腳冇咗即係個冇 nerve damage 啊，或眼盲啊，呢啲全部咧，如果你依家開始做嘢咧，係可以防禦到嘅。所以變咗嚟講咧，你一定要開始咧，係知道哇！我要知道降低你三高就係血糖高、膽固醇高同埋血壓高。如果降低三高之後咧 ，chance 去 become 前期患病啊、糖尿病係低好多嘅。咁同埋咧，你一定要靠醫生幫助你啦，同埋你要改變你生活習慣，係譬如飲你嘅去糖茶啊、做運動啊、血糖嘅控制啊。你減磅啊、食物控制啊，咁呢啲嘢咧，全部咧都係要做嘅。如果你改唔到生活習慣咧，你會繼續係哇食好多肥膩啊、食3個雪糕啊，咁你永遠都唔會係改得到咧，咁你就弊啦。即係你 set up 你自己咧，就會 end up 會變咁真係，即係會糖尿病或者前期患病。咁其實咧，我哋講咁多講座都希望慢慢改咧。咁你 realize 原來可以做呢樣係做到喎。當你做到之後咧 ，you know what， 你就成功，而家身體健康。同埋你70歲以後咧，仲見你嘅孫兒、你嘅仔女同你一齊去享受人生。咁今日我講咗，希望大家即係俾到一個挑戰你，繼續令到你身體健康，減低三高，咁能夠令到你永遠都身體健康嘅。So today I hope that will give you a challenge。To lower your 3 highs so you will not become a diabetes, or you're a diabetes, you can go back to become a pre-diabetic. Isn't that great? Now, if you have a question, do write to me, andy@wahfong.com, 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 or you can call us in WhatsApp. 852-3001-5644. Send us a message. Or you can do it now. WhatsApp is 852-6792-8891. 852-6792-8891. So you can definitely call us, write to us. We would love to answer a question, and then we can work with you. Our goal is to hold your hand throughout your diabetic journey. And so net result, you are continued motivated to be healthy, lower your 3 high, will never get into pre-diabetic, or if you're diabetes, will reverse you to pre-diabetic and stay in a good health, good stage, change your lifestyle, you continue to be healthy and enjoy your family. All right, any question today? If no question, I will give you I wish you have a good weekend today, and hope that you can enjoy your family. And I'm so happy we're able to provide you this lecture to give you an insight how to become a much healthier individual, changing your lifestyle, lower your 3 high, and prevent you become a pre-diabetic diabetes person. All right, thank you very much. Take care, and I hope hopefully to work with you next week again. You take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.